I was sitting in a hall and listening to a beautiful melody from a grand piano made of transparent crystal-like panels. 30 minutes into the concert, the hall went completely dark, and a minute later, the same musician went back onto the stage, this time without a shirt, no shirt, but with a neck brace. The grand piano is gone and replaced by a funky-looking drum set. I was mesmerized by the next 50 minutes drum solo performance, even though I hardly ever imagined I would enjoy such form of music. To this date, I was still shocked to my core. How can someone capable of performing two completely different genres of music in a such dramatic manner? It's almost like, I don't know, combining Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson into one single human being. It's hard to fathom. It left me speechless. The artist is Yoshiki Hayashi, who was honored at a special ceremony in Hollywood to unveil a cement tablet displaying his hand and footprints earlier this year at the TCL Chinese Theater, the first ever Japanese artist to achieve such an honor. He was trained as a classic pianist when growing up. I mean, who isn't? However, later in the childhood, he was devastated by the separation of his parents and started to use the drum set as an instrument for releasing his inner wrath, which sculpted him into one of the most unique artists in the history of music, with hundreds of awards and millions of record sales. A musician who plays classical music but also does drum solo. A phone which happens to be the best music player and the best internet communicator. A young entrepreneur who's working on a revolutionary electrical car and reusable rockets. Can you see the pattern here? Think about it. So, to be number one, you have to be odd, because the number one itself is an odd number. In other words, in order to be extraordinary, you have to think in different ways. You have to do things in different ways. However, being odd is extraordinarily difficult. If you're going to embrace a laboring endeavor in an unconventional fashion, people who love you the most, such as your family and friends, are the last person you should inform. Yes, last person. Because they are the people who mostly don't want you to ever get hurt. You're lucky if they're indifferent with your decisions. Because in most cases, they would protest and demand you to conform the boring but conventional approach. As from their perspective, conventional life is less risky, and they all want an easier life for you. So on one hand, you have the people who care and love you the most. On the other hand, goals to which you aspire. Your next headwind is coming from people who choose to live the conventional life. Your success is their biggest failure, and they're going to feel resentful about everything you do. They might be your biggest critics in the smaller circle. To get past those negative sentiments, just remember, you have a very limited amount of time on Earth. Would you rather spending time arguing with them or doing things that would make them hate you even more? I would go for the latter every single time. Your biggest critics are the people in the general society. They are looking at you as a threat to their established hierarchy. They are going to do everything in their power to derail you. On the other hand, you just have to keep bulldozing to where you want to go, no matter what. Remember, catch the breaks your critics throw at you and use them to build your dream castle. Last but not least, it's oddly satisfying and taxing at the same time to be an odd person in this world. Being number one shouldn't be the ultimate goal of yours, but a way to open your eyes and heart so you can see and feel the world differently in your own unique way. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and sub, and don't forget to click on the notification bell. Thank you and happy days.